Every single time. They would always ask me, who was the best quarterback you ever had? Who was the best between Drew and Phillip? What's the difference between Drew and Phillip? I always get that comparison, but the reality is that I feel that the only difference to me was me being able to look back on a route. I can see Phillip. I couldn't see Drew. In order for you to play for the Chargers back then, 03, 04,
North Turner.
Martin Schottenheimer was first.
Schottenheimer, see?
Yeah, Martin Schottenheimer was first. You had to block power. You had to block. I don't care what you can do. If you can't block power, you can't block counter, you can't block that lead ISO, you ain't playing. And that's how I got in the game. People don't know that. That's how I got, not because I was just so dominant in the run game, but I was competing.
You got to earn the opportunity.
I'm like, I know I got to block this dude to make the team. So I'm just saying, I'm going to compete. And I was just finding ways, using angles. I got to a point where these dudes were so strong. I'm like, I got to get to him before he can get. I will swipe their hands down, get them off balance, get into him.
Yep.
Right then,
I used to do that all the time.
Yeah, right,
My coach used to get mad at me though.
Yeah, I know, because they ain't never been out there probably.
But the thing is,
they ain't blocking the dude, so they don't know.
I would do that and accept the hit and let him take himself out the play.
Okay. Yeah, I'm okay.
You're gone.
Yeah, the player's coming right behind me. Majority of the time, it's counter is power. It's coming right behind the tight end. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, dude, I got to figure it out.
They used to say the same thing. You ain't never fucking played,
dude.
You
ain't never been out there,
You got to change it up. There's got to be a change up. There's got to be a change up in there.
They got to know. That's the beauty of playing. You got to know when you get out there, dudes that they would tell, you know how this goes, dudes that they would say that's good, you get out there and they wouldn't always that great to you.
Yeah.
But dudes that they be like, Gates, now this guy, you should go for 150 on him. And I get out there, I'm like, damn. This dude pretty good, though.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Right.
I know exactly.
I'm like, dang, this dude pretty good. And they be like, no, what are you doing? You playing, you effing around. And I'm thinking to myself, like, not really.
Yeah,
he's really covering me. You know what I'm saying?
I know exactly.
That's how it always is. Always the guy that names and you get out there and they good. Yeah. Don't get me wrong, but they more playmakers.
Yeah.
But then it'll be a guy who don't make as many plays, but he don't really do nothing wrong either.
He's just around.
He press. He play cover 3 right. He play cover 4 right. He play cover 2 right. He play man good. He play inside man good. He play 2 man good. Yeah. He stay in the inside. And I'm like, damn, I can't get. And he's fast and he's strong. And I know that because I would play against guys all the time. And I would have good games. But I'd be like, man, I worked my ass off for this. Excuse my language.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? Okay, yeah, you know.
I've said fuck.
You know.
You don't swear?
Yeah, I mean, you know. When I'm at home, I do whatever at home.
You're not like Phillip Rivers,
yeah.
like, gosh, dumb and gum.
Oh, no. Ain't nobody like Phillip, man.
I'm a dude.
Yeah, nobody like Phillip.
What the fuck's he say?
Yeah. Get your ass lined up.
Oh, he's
so many words. Gosh darn it, let me get your ass lined up in the right spot. Yeah.
No, he don't drop the A word.
Curse, though. He never curse.
Wow.
He's unbelievable. He's different.
I want to get back into blocking. When was your first baptized moment in the NFL? One of these, it could have been training camp, or was it in a regular season where you're like, oh, this blocking shit is a little tough.
Yeah.
There's one time when we all get baptized.
Yeah, but that was from the get-go.
From get-go?
From the get-go, from training camp. I was
one guy who?
Yeah, I mean, he passed away. His name was Adrian Dingo. And we from Clemson.
R.I.P.
Yeah, he passed away. Adrian Dingo, he from Clemson. And I remember he was an Ian. And then I remember going against him, and I never had heard of his name. I never knew who he was. I've been playing video games forever. So I know people, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm like, who is this dude? And he was playing good. That's what I'm saying about the league. He was a starter, and he was good. And I could not get, I'm like, damn, I can't block this. And he was just like, that's what I'm saying. I be on, you know how you be like on one foot, and you see the film, and you like, and like every time I look up, I'm grabbing his jersey, and like, cause he flinging me everywhere. And I'm just trying to hold on. And I just was like, man, I said, man, we got a dude named Adrian Dingo. He plays defense end. He's really good.
Yeah.
Like, he's really good. You know, you just say you love complimenting your teammates. That was my thing. People always say I complimented my teammates. I always would say that. But I'm like, no, I'm tell you. But he was always injured. He would always play 6-7 games, start, knee problem.
Yeah.
Take him out the lineup, get him healthy, come back. So he always had a knee issue.
That's the difference with football and basketball, though.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's 53 guys. When you're in the NFL, every one of those motherfuckers was the best guy on their team.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, it's just there's so many guys. Everyone is good. You know, like in the NBA, and there's 15 guys on the roster, so you know the whole fucking roster.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like in the NFL, like I remember, it reminded me of when Rob Ninkovich, you remember him?
Mm-hmm. Linebacker, right?
Linebacker.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He's a really good player for us. Won 3 Super Bowls. He was at a point in his career where he's a long snapper in New Orleans. We brought him in on like his 3rd year, and we had Matt Light, who was like
all
a
pro.
fucking stud.
Yeah, he's all pros. Yeah.
And his first day in training camp, he gave Matt Light the work. Like he was just like a possessed animal, you know? And it was like, he was like, you know what I mean? It was just one of those things where that's what made him, he made the team because of that.
Yeah.
That one day. You know, I just remember like those one-on-one periods, that's where, because we would watch it in front of the whole team. And that's where you get exposed. Like, you do a good play right there, like on one-on-ones against the corners. You know, Bill would show it. If you got hemmed up, he'd show that too. So like it would build like
right. Bill was like Marty did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how those old school coaches were. How was Marty?
We watched the film together, the whole team.
Yeah, same.
So I remember when it was like my play coming up, I'm like, damn, they about to call me out. Plays 48. I be knowing the play and everything. We already went over in the tight end room. So we get to the whole crew, and Marty was the kind of guy, he would just, you know, and North too. You know, so I had some great, you know, great coaches in my career. But the idea was like, you know, this was early on in my career. He made us the accountability. That's how it started, right? And North Turner was the same way. It was just being accountable that, you know, you had to be accountable. And you know, because they would show a guy named Lorenzo Neal in our room. He didn't know this. And they'd be like, watch this, watch him play. And it felt like he never had a misplay. I'm like, this blocks this guy every single time.
Right,
His guy is not, don't be the one to let the team down.
Yep.
Don't let your guy be the one to make the tackle. That's the major concept. Obviously, it's hard. It's very hard. You know what I'm saying? But the idea is Lorenzo Neal, you'd be like, this is unreal. We'll watch a whole game, and I'm like, his guy never made the play. The guy that he had never made the play. And I'm like, how do I get to that level of like focus and dominance? Because he was dominant.
Yeah.
He was the best fullback that I have seen. Probably the best blocker, period, that I have seen. Because he get on you and it was over. It was just, he was 5'11", you know, Lorenzo Neal, he should be in the Hall of Fame, probably. You know what I'm saying? But he blocked for Corey Dillon. He blocked for everybody he's blocked for has had 1,000 yards.
Yeah.
He get on you and it was, and I know that's hard.
No
you
MEs, professional.
You know how it is in pass pro. You get back there, they have you probably doing some stuff in F. Well, I don't know. I'm assuming they did.
I had one Rex call where I had to go in for split zero.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I can see you doing that. That's all I'm saying.
With Lorenzo Neal.
When a fullback has a cowboy collar on, let's go.
See what you were explaining. Why he's a Hall of Famer? Because he was a guy that was doing that, and he played on some good football teams, but he never got to play at the pinnacle.
Mm-hmm.
The difference between that is there's more guys like you that are sitting there seeing Lorenzo Neal. Man, if I'm just doing my job and he does his job, and we all just fucking do our job for that one play, and it may be something. That's how success is made.
Yeah, team-wise. That's how the winners, right?
You know what I mean? That's what I
talent.
was thinking about. I was like, I remember being the same way. Like, you're just looking at like, how does this guy? Yeah. He just does his job every time. And then they throw him a bone every once in a while. But like,
he does.
And then everyone, Lagarde, he does his.
He had a 16-year career from 93 to 2008. He only ever scored 1 touchdown a season. Yeah. He never scored more than 1 touchdown a season.
Right, so that was his bone.
He's going to be all. He should be in
a lot of touchdowns.
How about LT?
Oh, LT, I mean, Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think that's an asterisk, ain't it? You know what I mean? Guys like that, you know what I mean? Yeah. The Hall of Fame should come with something that's already etched and written. Yeah. Right? You know what I'm saying? LT was great, man. He was an ultimate competitor too, man. He wanted to be the best. You know what I'm saying? He was that kind, but LT was the kind of guy that did everything right too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He was, you know what I'm saying? Not so much. This, you know me, I was the locker room dude. We shooting dice. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm that dude. I'm in the locker room. He was like, he did everything right. You know what I'm saying? He was married. He was, you know, he was the stand-up. And which
stud.
Yeah. You know, you got those guys. I'm not saying
pedigree.
Yeah. Everything was
professional.
Right. Yeah. Professional.
Just ultimate
professional. And that's what we would use as, you know what I mean, a springboard.
Yeah,
Inspiration. This is the level. This is what you got to get to, right? For you to really, really understand. All right, won MVP one year, you know, led the league with 20-something touchdowns one year, you know, top 5, 10 in touchdown scoring.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I would have to, that was the thing. So it's like steel sharpening steel. I knew I had to score because if I got inside the 5 and then get in, I fell short. It don't matter. They chanting the whole stadium is ALT, and I done got us all the way down to the 1. And you see that flip, and I'm like, look at this, another one for him. And he's getting in, so he ain't missing his opportunity.
Oh, no.
So that was like the steel sharpening steel. And we would say it. Yeah. We literally, receivers, tight ends, anybody else, if you get inside the 10, you better score.
You ain't gonna get it.
You better score because you know LT scoring. And when he get it, he's scoring. So it ain't like we giving it to him just to give it to him. We know we got it for sure score. So that's the beauty of him, man. I love him, man. He's like a good friend of mine, man. So he the one brought me out and introduced me in the Hall of Fame. So that's my dude, man.
He's third in all-time touchdowns.
Yeah.
With 162, right behind Emmitt Smith, just ahead of Randy Moss.
Imagine me and him on the same team. We were going, we scoring some points.
You're 14th with 116.
You guys were insane for a while. We only caught you every once in a while, though.
I caught us at the right time.
But you played early Patriots, too, man. Mm-hmm. Like,
you weren't there when we were 14-2, were you?
No. Not like
we were better than them. We knew we were better than them because I was in Pro Bowl with Teddy Bruschi, and I'm like, there's no way. No disrespect. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no way. They gonna line him up on me 1-on-1. So I just knew that, but they just know how to play well together, man. It was just I seen Belichick.
They hit you from
Belichick was funny. I seen him at the Super Bowl, and I was talking to him. I said, dude, I don't think I ever beat the Patriots. I don't think I ever beat the Patriots. So I'm like, so tell me what y'all was really doing, Coach.
What would Bill say? Look, just fucking get you out of the game.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, that's what he said. We had the W, put an X on you. And he started that whole idea. He was notorious of taking what he wants out of the game.
Oh, yeah.
And it was like, nobody else can do that. I'm just saying, I play.
You have discipline. It's got to be team defense.
Yeah, like nobody else is capable of doing that. When he wants you X'd out the game, you are X'd out the game.
Yeah.
He's notorious for that. And somebody else is going to be your second and third option will have to win the game. I'll be like, Coach, we play. I'm like, yeah, to get me moving. Well, let me start in the backfield and motion out to this side. He can't do it then. He still found a way to do it.
Yeah.
He was a defensive genius, if you ask me, bro.
Yeah, he was something special, that guy.
Well, one more thing before we leave from the Chargers. Your first touchdown was from Doug Flutie?
Doug Flutie?
Yeah.
Can you talk about that?
Yeah.
I love Flutes.
Yeah, Flute's my
He's
man.
a Boston guy, you know. We do a bunch of charity shit together all the time. And I've done a bunch of stuff with the Doug Flutie Foundation, and he's just a legend. I loved him because I was a quarterback.
Yeah.
And he was small,
running around.
He could hoop.
Yeah, Flutie can hoop. Flutie can hoop. Yes, he can.
I see him in these. He's still hooping at like 50.
He can play. That is 100% right. So what happened was, I don't know if people know about the story with Drew Brees, but Drew Brees was our starter, and he had a tough time at the time. Struggling. People were booing him, right?
Yeah. There's a reason why Rivers was drafted.
Yeah, reason why Rivers was drafted. So that was right. So I guess throughout the year, they decided to go with Flutie, and then I was in the rotation at the time, and Flutie started throwing me the ball. And
smart.
So he threw me my very first touchdown. He was throwing me the ball and everything. And what happened was, I guess, from my understanding, again, don't quote me on this, Flutie needed X amount of snaps or something with the contract or whatever the case may be. So it wasn't like we were going to the playoffs. We were 4-12 that year. So it was like, we need to put Drew back in the game. And that's kind of where I start. And, so me and Drew start really after he obviously seen this is what's happening with Flutie. Okay, maybe let's try this kid out. Let's try this young rookie out. Let's see what he can do, right? Because we had a guy named David Boston at the time, which was, probably the freakiest athlete I've ever seen. I don't know if you know who David Boston is.
He played a lot for Arizona?
Yeah.
Is that right?
He played for Arizona. He got drafted, but we had him, and he went to Ohio State. The whole Charles Woodson, David Boston rivalry, Ohio State, Michigan.
David Boston.
Yeah. But he was, like, when you finish Google him and pull him up and see what I'm saying, the freakiest athlete you ever gonna see. He was 250 playing receiver, and I remember them saying, you gotta lose weight. But he I got like 4% body fat. 4'3" guy, 250. playing receiver. You think DK Metcalf or somebody like that looks, wait till you see David Boston.
Yeah.
But we had David Boston, and he just, it was just a battle. What he wanted and what the team wanted and what the offense coordinator wanted. So I was the alternate.
Yeah.
A young kid who I'm happy to be on the team.
Yeah.
Y'all want me to do what? Yeah. 16-yard in, and yeah. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. And they just got to a point where they were just feeding me the ball, man. And it all started with Doug Flutie exposing certain defenses by just throwing me the ball.
Did he throw to you a lot because scout team maybe in practice? You guys probably had a connection?
It could have been that identifying. Like now that
he
you
was
said it,
going
I didn't
balls
think
to
of
walls.
I didn't even think of it then. But
he was
now,
going balls to walls the scout team.
But now, but now you said that it makes sense.
Yeah.
Because he just felt like he was familiar with the guy. He was just all of a sudden, and then it was things that he can see from the sideline too. So I think he would always see me open. And Drew was probably looking for David Boston, and the other guy's not throwing me the ball. And he like, this guy, this shallow route.
He's a vet too.
Yeah, the shallow route.
He knows football.
He knows ball, man. He was like, this shallow route is wide open. And it makes life so easy. He'd be in there saying the play, but he's drawing the play as he's saying it. Like Scott Wright, out. It's 78. So he's drawing it. So he's making it so easy.
Yeah.
And now I felt like we were just playing basketball, playing football in the backyard. It didn't feel like my brain was working 1,000 miles an hour. You know what I'm saying?
And that's flutes.
That's the key. The quarterback making you feel.
Yeah.
He's great at making you feel.
How was Brees?
Brees was great. The Hall of Famer too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Look at the lineup I had, man. I had Flutie, Drew Brees, Phillip Rivers.
That's fun.
So many guys probably would have excelled even more if they had either one of those guys.
Yeah.
So I never do I take that for granted because I listen to what guys would say to me at other teams. I'm like, yeah, you got a quarterback, though. You got the same quarterback.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, and I got a really good one. Every single time. They would always ask me, who was the best quarterback you ever had? Who was the best between Drew and Phillip? What's the difference between Drew and Phillip? I always get that comparison, but the reality is that I feel that the only difference to me was me being able to look back on a route. I can see Phillip. I couldn't see Drew. I couldn't see Doug. I couldn't see. It was like coming out of a cannon. Those cannons that the ball
coming out of a cannon. I know exactly.
Yeah. They 6'8", 6'9", all across the board, and you see that ball come out, but it's coming. Drew, it's coming. So once you see it, everything has to change. Your eyes got to get right on that tip.
Come out of
instantly.
nowhere.
Phillip, I can see the whole everything is winding, is this, is that. I can see it. So my engagement with the ball was easier with Phillip because I can see the release and see it come out of his hand.
Yeah.
Never can see it coming out of Drew's hand. It's just coming out.
What the fuck is it? So
right, you're right.
Yeah, I wouldn't get that as much. I remember just sometimes you get that going across that middle full speed at like that 8 to 11-yard range.
Yeah.
And like all of a sudden the quarterback steps. So you don't see quarterback.
You
just see a ball coming. You got a guy on your hip. You got a guy you're about to get hit with.
You see a ball coming. Yeah. Yeah, you coming
gotta
in
really
there.
be focused.
You're like, oh, that's mine.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? That's how you feel when you're coming in there because you don't know if he's going to throw it either.
Yeah.
So you see it, you're like, that's it. That's the play I got to make.
That's trust right there.
That's trust, man.